Well, recently, KSI just knocked the shit out of FaZe Temper and left the world shocked. That was a joke. That is sarcasm. We all expected that to happen. What's going on, guys? It's your boy, the Friendly Paisan, and today we are doing the YouTuber boxing ranking tier list. I think it's appropriate now that a lot of these guys have fought multiple times. Certain guys I don't know on the list, certain guys I do know on the list. So I'm going to be ranking all of the people that I know on this list, and let's just get right into it. All right, so obviously on the tier maker, we have S, superior, A for asshole. Kidding. A is, A, good, decent, meh, stinker, and should retire. Now, obviously there are pictures down here. Now, if I don't know this person, or if they're not on the list, I'm not ranking, or if I haven't seen them fought already, I'm only ranking people that I know and that I've seen fight. And then at the end of this video, I mean, everybody knows KSI and Jake Paul are slated to fight at the end of the year. And there was a recent announcement that Jake Paul and Tommy Fury are fighting in February. Like I said, fighting. I'll wait till the bell rings on that one. So I'll give my predictions, on that fight, as well as, how I thought KSI did. All right. So obviously the first person we have here is Joe Smella, the guy with all the roid rage, trying to beat up KSI's editor as of late. Now, Joe Weller, I guess some people argue, created influencer boxing. Props to him. And he won a fight or two, or maybe just one. I'm not really sure. But Joe Weller, when I saw him box KSI, sucked. He wasn't good. He's got anger issues. So we're going to leave him with should retire. He should just stay right there and never box again. Okay, let's move on to FaZe Sensei. Now, I know FaZe Sensei recently said he is retiring and he is not influencer boxing anymore after his last couple losses. He's mostly an MMA guy that has transitioned into this YouTube boxing and influencer scene. I think he's a pretty damn good influencer boxer. I think he's extremely underrated because he took a couple tough losses. But I'm a big fan of FaZe Sensei, and I love the way he breaks down fights. I like him a lot. I know he said he's retired, but I would love to see him fight again. I'm going to put him in the decent category. I think he's decent. I think that he could stand and trade with the best of them in the influencer space. So I'm going to leave him at decent. Alex Wasabi. Now, he fought our man Deji while Deji was down and in the dumps and not the best version of himself. The fight that everyone wants to see, the Deji Wasabi rematch. Will we see it this year? I don't know, but it would be absolutely outstanding. He pulled out of the KSI fight, which sucks because I really would have liked to see how that fight would have went. I still think KSI wins, but I really would have liked to see how it went. I'm going to put him in the decent category as well. I don't think he's A. I don't think he's meh or under. I don't think he's super, super great, but I'll put him at decent because when he fought Deji, he did look like he had some skills. His combinations were really good. He looked fluid for an influencer boxer, so we'll put him there. We'll put him at decent. The Wolf himself. The Wolf himself. I think that's the nickname he's going by right now, the Wolf. FuziTube, he's ass. We don't have to really, do much there. He is a human punching bag. Shout out to him for, I guess putting his life together and everything. That's awesome. Currently in the realm of doing that myself and hitting the gym and working on my body and such. So, but he still sucks. So we should put him at should retire. He's not a great boxer at all. We'll leave him there. Slim. My man Slim from Brooklyn, New York. Now, Slim is a brawler. And I know people are really high on this guy, but he's a brawler. He's taken a lot of big shots lately in his fights. I don't think he is the best boxer out of a lot of people on this list. I think that he gets the job done, and I think he's tougher than 99% of the people that he steps in the ring with. With that being said, his technique's not that great, but when you have bombs and have the power that he has, you can win some fights, especially in this influencer boxing. With that being said, if we're talking about this influencer boxing realm, we're going to put him at A for now. That might change depending on, who pops up next. But we're going to put him at A because he's winning fights and I can't take that away from him. And he's fighting tough people. He's getting clobbered a lot. So I'm going to put him at A for now. Next up, we have Deji. Deji the Tank Olatunji, comedy gamer. His most recent fight, he fought the GOAT, Floyd Mayweather and got absolutely embarrassed and disheveled, but he cut him. Take wins where you can. But I mean, listen, for having the stones to even get in there against Floyd Mayweather is incredible. I mean, it's hard for me to gauge this because when he fought Uzi, he looked really good. But when he fought Floyd, he looked super underprepared, scared. So after he fought Uzi, I would have put him in the A category if he would have fought like another influencer. But I mean, listen, Floyd Mayweather can make anybody look bad, to be honest. And I can't put him in front of Alex Wasabi because he lost to Alex Wasabi. So I'm going to put him in decent because I need to see him fight a couple more times. Maybe fight Alex Wasabi rematch would be great. Maybe Salt Papi. Salt Papi would be a great fight. That would really be able to give you more of a gauge. But he was on like a 3-fight losing streak, then absolutely beat the piss out of Fuzi. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put Deji at decent. Deji's going to go in decent. He's going to go here. And I'm going to put Wasabi here. And I'm going to put Face Sensei here. But I think Face Sensei is the better technical boxer. Technical all the way around. But Deji did dominate. And I haven't seen Face win a fight. So this is what we're going to do. This is boxing logic. Alrighty. And now, Jake Paul. The problem child. By far the best influencer boxer in the space, not even close. I really don't think we have to list off his accomplishments. Everybody should know them. He literally just beat one of the GOATs of MMA striking. I don't want to hear it. I don't care how old he was. He beat Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley, yes, a wrestler, but does know how to throw hands. He's fought. His resume is better than everybody else's. Jake Paul, probably the best influencer boxer, even if you want to call him that. I think he's just transitioning to professional boxing. Not really much to say. He's the best. Logan Paul. Ugh. Where do we put you, big guy? Because it's funny, and people are going to hate me for saying this, but the 2 points were bullshit. I'm just going to say it. And if those 2 points don't get taken away, I think he might have beaten KSI. But then, you know, we wouldn't have this Jake Paul lead up, but he still lost. I still think the 2 points are bullshit, but he lost. He fought Floyd. Some people say he got knocked out by Floyd and held him up and whatever, and it was a lean fest. I do like Logan's style, but he hasn't won, like, ever, and his ACL's torn, and he's in the WWE, but for giving him the benefit of the doubt that I do think he'll step back in the ring, I'm going to put him at meh. He's not decent. He's not a stinker because his technique is really good. I'm going to put him as meh for now. We'll leave him as meh. This might change within the next coming years, but we'll see. So JMX isn't terrible. He's not terrible. He just won a fight recently, I believe. JMX, he's a big guy, obviously ripped, shredded. His technique isn't that great. I would love to see actually him and Logan Paul fight, but I don't think JMX is big enough for him and Logan to fight. But I think he's good. I think he's decent. So, you know, I'll put him at decent, but I'll put him behind Face Sensei because I still think Face Sensei is better. Anisan Gibb. The man, the myth, the legend, 7-figure Gibber. We're going to put him in the A category for knocking out Austin McBroom. Not quite better than Slim because Slim has fought more, but I think Gibb's technique, especially after the McBroom fight, is better than Slim's. Slim is more active. Slim is always down to fight. Gibb has been having like money issues, like he got overpaid at other, you know, boxing organizations. But we're gonna put Gibb at A because he beat up Austin McBroom, and I'm thrilled. I'm very happy about that. The Nightmare, KSI. I am the Nightmare, KSI. King of Cringe. KSI just knocked out Bay's Temper, but to be honest, it wasn't really that impressive to me. I mean, neither would have been fighting Dylan Dennis because I think he would have slept Dylan Dennis too. I hope he fights Joe Fournier next. But out of everybody on this list, I really truly believe that KSI beats everybody that I'm looking at on this list. So I'm going to put him right behind Jake Paul in the S category. I mean, his resume isn't great, but I like his technique. It's getting better. I know everyone, oh, you like his technique, all he does is this. No, his technique is getting better. He's got those power in his hands. He can end the fight whenever he wants, so we're going to put him in the S category. Funky Ben Askren. Well, he's not an influencer boxer, but I do know who he is. We're going to put him in should retire because he should retire. This one should be quick. Got slept by, you know, Jake Paul, who was a novice boxer. I mean, even though he was a wrestler, he It was an absolute embarrassment. He looked like he didn't train. He showed up looking like the Pillsbury Doughboy. Absolutely horrendous. Should retire is where he should be. Austin McBroom, an absolute stinker. Now, while his boxing technique is really good for somebody who really started, I don't like him as a person. And he just got absolutely pieced up by Gibb. And the only person he beat up was Bryce Hall. The I'm a fighter, I'm not a fighter guy. So we're going to put him at stinker because he's 1-1. The only person he beat was Bryce Hall. So stinker for you, Austin. Oh, man, Bryce Hall. Not much to say, but I don't want to grill him too much because he's on his hero arc. I don't want to grill him too much. So we're just going to put him at should retire. You know, I mean, if he's serious and wants to continue training and fighting in the influencer space, I'm sure there'll be room for him. But as of right now, an updated list, he should retire. Floyd Mayweather. I am not. But first of all, I'm not doing Floyd Mayweather. It's not happening. He's an actual boxer. He shouldn't even be on here at all whatsoever. Is Dean the Great? Okay, so we'll do Dean the Great. Technique-wise, this is going to be a sleeper for people. I am putting Dean the Great in this A category, right in between Slim and Gibb. Dean the Great is actually one of those influencer boxers that if he took it seriously enough, which I mean, I know he is and trained, he could cross over and become pro, especially in his last fight. He looked really good. Both fighters in that fight looked really good. So Dean the Great and Waleed Sharks was probably one of the best influencer boxing, like technical influencer boxing fights I've ever seen. Shame that it got stopped so early. I mean, I know Waleed Sharks turned his back and everything, but Dean the Great is a very good boxer. Oh, this is that TikTok kid that got absolutely pieced up by one of the FaZe guys. So we're going to put him at should retire because that was abysmal. That was a terrible performance on his part. Nate Robinson should retire. Absolutely 100%. I mean, got starched. Should never pick up a pair of gloves ever again. Taylor Holder. Now, Taylor Holder, I think, just choked underneath the spotlight. I think Taylor Holder is actually a really good boxer. I'm going to put him at meh. He's got really, really decent technique. I don't know if he'll ever fight again, but he's definitely meh. And if he does and, you know, gets in the ring again, whoever he fights, it should be very, very interesting. Jarvis is really good. He's got that killer instinct in him. I'm going to put him at decent, and I'm going to put him right in between Sensei and Dej. I think Jarvis is really good. He's got that killer instinct in his eyes. So yeah, we'll put him at decent. Oh, there he is, Waleed Sharks. So I'm gonna put Waleed Sharks, man. I'm gonna put him behind Gibb. I'm gonna put him at A. And that might seem crazy, but his technique's really good. I think he's been boxing for a really long time. Those two, Dean the Great and Waleed Sharks, are gonna be the guys that, on the lighter weight classes that carry Misfits boxing. So I'm gonna put him at A. We'll put Blueface at should retire. This is a TikTok guy, should retire. I don't even remember this guy's name, but Blueface should retire. I don't think he'll ever box again, and he shouldn't. Tyrone Woodley, I'm putting him at meh. Tyrone Woodley, I'm putting at meh. Everybody undercuts him because he got slept by Jake Paul, but everybody's just really undercutting the fact that Jake Paul is really good. But Tyrone Woodley could definitely square up with the best of them for sure. He just needs to learn when to pull the trigger and not lull his opponents to sleep the whole time. King Kenny, I'm going to put him in the S category. He's actually really, really, really good. I'm going to put him right behind KSI. I think he's going to fight Salt Papi actually sometime this year. I think that's a fantastic fight. I think his technique for an influencer boxer is really good, and I cannot wait to see him fight next. FaZe Temper Man. We're going to have to go with meh, brother. I mean, he's won some fights, but he's got KO'd recently. Temper Man, I just hope you recover, dude, and you learn to keep your head out of that center line and stop getting popped, man, and really work on your defense, because I'd like to see you win. I think you're a really cool dude, so, I mean, yeah, we'll put him at meh for now. The GOAT, Salt Papi. Salt Papi is going S, and in my opinion, in front of King Kenny, and I will tell you why, because he just knocked out Josh Bruckner, and Josh Bruckner is a real fighter. A lot of these guys on this list have never fought real fighters, and Salt Papi made a real fighter look like a complete joke. Absolutely dismantled him. One punch KO. Salt Papi, you're the fucking GOAT, and I can't wait to see you fight again. L. Brook just beat up Faith Wardway. That was a tough one. That was a tough one for me. The tough pill for me to swallow. It was a great fight. Great fight. I think for the women, I think she's really up there, man. And I think if her and Astrid Wet fight, she's going to dominate her. So on the women's side, I'm going to put Elle Brook as A. I mean, I think she definitely deserves to be there. She's winning fights. Female Brock Lesnar. All right, well, we're getting down to the last two that I know. So we are talking about Swarms and Pineda, the guy that KSI fought on the same night, both gentlemen. Now, Pineda, my friend, you get to go right here. A-level status, Beast Return, hero arc, knocking out B-Dave, making him look silly. It was awesome, man. That whole intro was great. I mean, that was probably one of the highlights of the card, probably one of the coolest moments of the card. And seeing him get that win, I know that meant a lot to him. I mean, so yeah, we're gonna put him at A. And as for Swarms, man, we're gonna put you at Stinker. I don't really know what happened in that Ryan Taylor fight. You hit him with a jab, and I think it cracked his orbital bone. Cool. Haven't really seen much out of you. But we're gonna put him at Stinker. Alrighty, guys. Well, that is my tier list for this video. I said at the end of the video I'd give my thoughts about the KSI Temper fight. I gave it a little bit in the middle of the video, but so I'll just wrap up with that. I mean, KSI just showed what we all knew, that he has a ton of power. And he can box. I mean, he can. But the thing is, can he beat Jake Paul? And I don't think he can. I think Jake Paul has a better resume. I think he's fought better fighters. Jake Paul has that same power, that same viciousness, but better technique than KSI does. KSI said he only wants to fight one more time. I think he should fight 2 more times. I think KSI's next route should be either Tyron Woodley and then Joe Fournier. I don't know. He should definitely pick up one more fight. I mean, maybe after Jake Paul fights Tommy Fury, KSI Tommy Fury, and then they fight. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, man. That's my YouTube influencer boxing tier list. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.